Excuse me, it's possible to repeat why we chose 64 or hexagram, please?
Yes, of course. Do you mean for the last treatment when we discussed the pain on spleen 4 and between spleen 4 and 3?
Yes.
Do you mean the previous case that we discussed?
Yes.
Okay, the pain was between spleen 3 and 4. If you treat it using system 3, doing local balance, the distal points, which points on the stomach meridian you will treat them with? Possibly around stomach 41, 42, 43, yes? 41, right? So we have two choices. One choice with seasonal acupuncture was to apply gixogram number 65, so we come up with the treatment stomach 36. Another choice was to apply gixogram number 64, and that will give us 2 points, stomach 42 and stomach 41. So there were 2 possibilities to treat spleen 3, 4, okay? One is stomach 41, 42, and another possibility was stomach 36. What do you choose? This one. Agree? Because locally you will treat this. It's a similar distal points that you will treat this pain. When you do local balance, you apply partial points. When you do seasonal, you apply wisdom of Bhagwa. But you match the points that you need, the area more or less. Okay. Is this clear? Good. So let's do some case studies quickly without much drawings, just to make our mind working. Okay. I will give you the diagnosis, not the diagnosis, the description of the symptoms. Okay. Patient came with the skin problems, itching, mainly during the day, from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m., possibly when it's hot. The rest of the time, it's okay. So during the day, the patches of the skin comes just red and start itching during the day. The rest is okay. All the pulses are stagnant a bit and strong. So it's damp heat. When it's stagnant and strong, it shows damp heat. Heartburn sometimes, and there is no constipation, but it goes to the toilet every second day. So it's a bit like tough. So this situation, we have skin problems and digestion. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so pattern. Your suggestions.
Saying yummy.
Yeah. And you may add some kidney if you want, if so important. You may. If the kidney pulse is weak, you can. And now, because it's seasonal, let's see what kind of diagram we come up with. Oh, it's winter. The patient came in winter. So we see the list. You can go here. You can go to the eating. Oops, no, sorry, not winter. I do. One thing. Let me think. No, it's a summer. I'm so sorry. This is summer. Yeah. Definitely. She came in summer. And the problem was during the summer, during the daytime, the hottest time. All right. So you have a lot of choice here. You can see the best one is diagram number 36, 3 stars. So why is this 3 stars? Actually, if you go to description of this diagram, you will see that this diagram has a program. So this is a program. Program is decoded information of completion. It's a creativity, the full creativity. It's kind of completion of creation. This is a very positive, so it's a long description, very positive. You can apply number 36 for all the pattern. That would be good. "36 is water over fire." And interesting enough, if you go to 63, which is fire over water, 36 was water over fire, water over fire. And here is fire over water. The 63 is this trigram has the gexagram has the information of house, of disintegration. It's endlessness and disintegration. The idea of the whole universe is integrity, but this is a division. So would you apply this information to a human being? No. The word is healing is about having a whole thing together, like a unity. So 63 is bad, 36 is good. All right. After I applied the 36, you can let's come up with the points. Okay. So for large intestine, 3, 4, 5. For pericardium, 8, 7, 6. For liver, 1, 3, 5. For stomach, 43, 44, 45. Okay. And actually, the treatment was very successful. The skin stopped, it just stopped coming. The patches stopped coming. Why? Also, look how it stops the stomach fire, because the skin problems usually comes from the stomach in many cases. So the stomach goes mad, it's inflamed. So it brings the stomach to the right place, it brings down the inflammation. Works beautifully. Right.
How many treatments? Just one?
No, that was about 5. I think she came for the 6th one, but that was it. But she suffered for a couple of years.
That's great.
Yeah, that was the 2nd year. You know, when 1st year came, so she forgotten about it. Okay, I'm healthy. And then the next summer is coming. Oh my goodness, the same thing. So then she came to an acupuncturist.
And how often did you treat?
2-3 times a week. Normally people come for 2 times because 3 is too much, unless it's very acute.
Cool, thank you.
Okay. Autumn. The pain in the shoulder. Let me play first. Autumn. The pain in the shoulder joint, large intestine 15, lung 2, more or less. It's chronic after the frozen shoulder. So the frozen shoulder kind of gone, so the shoulder moves, but the pain is there. So what do you think how we can treat it? Do you remember the rule of 3L?
No.
You don't remember the rule of 3L? Lung, liver, and large intestine meridians, they treat each other.
Oh.
Yeah, in local balance.
Yeah.
Yes, you do remember. We just jumped to local balance. That's why you didn't pick it up. So these 3 treat each other. So if we choose lung or liver, yeah, the 3rd L. Without thinking, LLL. We can do ash, but because it's seasonal. This is not seasonal. That's the beauty of it. This is not seasonal. It's just the patient came and I applied the seasonal, the bad one. Why? Because in the autumn, there is opportunity to use the Gixagram number 18 with 3 stars, which is one of the most beautiful Gixagrams in the whole thing table. So if we see in the table, or you can apply the number 18 to the liver channel. Let's do it without the table. This is liver ID, yes? ID liver. If we apply number 18, what we need? We need a 1, 2, 3, which is reverse image of the shoulder, isn't it? Can you see that? That's a shoulder joint. And this is liver 1, 2, 3. This is the, like, the reverse image. Can you see that? So, magic results, guys. I treated this lady with herbs for her frozen shoulder because herbs work very good. That was the choice. And then when the shoulder moved and started going well, but she needed something else. I tried local, didn't work. Well, it did, but it's just the pain came back. And I applied the bagua. And that was so good. That just relaxed the shoulder and released the range of motion became much better. Another case study with local pain. The pain in the arm, just the general pain. Meridians, large intestine and Sinjao. The time is spring.
Spring.
Spring. Large intestine and Sinjao pain. Spring. So we go to spring. And you see what kind of the points, and it should be good gua, good hexagram, and at the same time there must be points. So I think that kidney meridian will treat large intestine and will treat Sinjao. Yeah, agree? Local balance. So I kidney. And in spring, if I go to the hexagram, 45, which has 3 stars, go to kidney, you will see that it's kidney 1, 7, and 10 kidney. Since it was the whole arm, look how good. It's like Ma, beginning, middle, and the end, 1, 7, 10. So it embraces the whole meridian in the wise way, in a wise way. Does it make sense for you? So you do kidney 1, 7, 10. It will balance both large intestine and Sinjao.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works miraculously. Did you follow the logic?
I couldn't find it on which page. What page was it? Because I've got one page for spring. And
Yeah, I cannot find.
Yeah, I
What
can't
number?
find it either.
What number did you say it was?
What do you mean by number? 54. Oh, no.
45.
45.
45,
45.
but there's no 45 on spring.
No.
The secret.
That's a secret. Okay. That's clear. And let's go here. Let me see.
Spring and autumn is the same.
Oh, that was my mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Online. Is it? Spring. Yeah. Okay. I will send you. Apologies. Late night work. Apologies. I will redo it. Wrong paste.
Well, we paid attention, so that's good.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still alert.
Sorry for that.
No problem.
Yes.
Because now, you know, I'm happy with this kind of things because you see, you keep thinking yourself, and we saw ourselves that the chart was not correct. So that means we are looking for, you know, the right answers ourselves. So that's a good thing.
Have you noticed it? I'm glad. I'm
Me
glad.
too.
Thank you for that. Okay, so it means that you, well, let me, so for the 45, there is a kidney 1, 7, 10. And even though we don't have,
Somebody has a gorilla in the house or something.
yes, 2 gorillas. Yeah. Right. I had a nice Rottweiler. He's a good 2 years old, young, bright gentleman, and the life was so boring for him. So I went to the rescue dogs and adopted a very nice girl. They fall in love. 2 months, they sleep together, they hug together. That's so much love between them. So just pure love. They don't play the masculine feminine games. They just like 2 children. They enjoy each other. They sleep hugging each other. They kiss each other in the morning. It's so beautiful. But they make sounds. Now they do. Okay. So for the 45, which is spring, this is wood. If we apply what we chosen, kidney, yes? And this is kidney ID, yeah? And if we apply the 45 for kidney, the 1 is different, the second is the same, the third is the same, the fourth is the same. 7 and 10, kidney 1, 7, 10. Okay, I'm so sorry, just a second. Teda, stop it. Stop it. Yes, good. Well done. I think they're surprised with my English, you know.
Here's my babies.
Oh,
Sweet.
that's lovely.
Oh, sweet. So 1, 2, 7, it's actually because the pain is in the whole arm, yeah, until the shoulder, large intestine and Sanjiao. If we treat the whole leg, sorry for the, oops. Starting from kidney 1, 7 and 10, we kind of embrace the whole limb here, yeah, because it's a half. Half of the limb will treat the whole limb. We know that, yes? So it embraces the whole limb. Beautiful.
Great.
Have other choices.
Can I ask a question, please? Why have you chosen seasonal for treatment? Why not just local treatment?
As I explained, I did local, it didn't work well. So
Okay. I didn't get that.
Yeah. So it just, we always try local first, normally.
First, yeah.
If it doesn't work well, you have another option. Try other meridians. You may try, you may try seasonal. You will possibly not try 5 elements, because
No.
it makes sense. But the seasonal, you apply beautiful combination and see how it works. If we apply the very good program, just read about Gixogram number 45, open it in, how beautiful it is, how beautiful the description is. Look at feel the person, see the description, and you will find the reason to apply this Gixogram as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Right. So, another case studies. Would you like me to continue with the case studies? How do you feel?
Mhm.
Just to share what can be done. I know it's hard to follow. I know you have to keep your attention all the time. But okay, so the summer. The patient, 38 years, the hair is falling down, very tired, wants to sleep all the time. The hair, actually, they usually, the hair, she loses hair in the summer. I'm just translating. Very tired in the morning, she wakes up tired. She works a lot. Menstruation is very short, the cycle is short and weak, there is no much blood there. She feels bloated, so, well, but it's not the major problem. The pulse is like this. The right, usually right is, the stomach is a bit weak, and the kidney is okay, but the left is a reverse hook, so it goes up. The normal distribution of the pulse is from the top to the bottom, so this is the bone here, so this is the skin, and this is the bone, yeah. When you start feeling the pulse must be felt deeper, deeper, deeper from soon to chirp. Doesn't matter whether you, what I want to say, any system you practice, there are many systems in pulse diagnosis. It never worked for me. In the school, I always wanted to learn it. I was so impressed by the readings of old masters taking pulses and came up with the right thing. So I was like, oh, well, magic. And I tried with different teachers and never worked until I met Dr. Jimmy Chung, and it works like magic. It's so precise that you can't imagine. It's just precise and it's easy to learn. Believe me, it's easy to learn. One of the keys is drawing the pulse. Even me practicing so many years, I can't read the pulses without drawing it. And oh, I can, but it's better comes when you draw each and every pulse on the paper, each and every position, because each and every pulse has so many qualities. There are bumps which shows inflammation. There is like mudness on the bottom. There is, you draw everything like a picture. It takes you like a couple of minutes to take the pulses, not more than 2 minutes. But then you'd say everything to the patient, everything. including a condition of the liver, heart, well, whatever is there, heartburn. You don't ask anything to the patient. You just draw the pulses. So this pulse we called reverse hook. Why? Because the normal pulse must have this distribution, and this pulse has this distribution because it's left. So this is a kidney, and kidney is very up. Can you see that? So this heart, so it's left soon. The heart is down. It doesn't have strength because it's very down. You can see the normal pulse must be here, the heart, but it's not here. It's there, and it's weak. It's not strong, and it's tense. And the kidney is up. What it says, the adrenals run high. The kidneys are exhausted. Normally, these people had some kind of fear experience in the past, very often, but like a strong fear, like being a soldier and things like this. But never mind. So these days calls reverse hook, which is showing disturbance because it's like heart and kidney disharmony. Yeah. It's just a few seconds to feel it. My suggestion: go to Jimmy Chung online free resources on YouTube. He has lots of, and he's absolutely academic, amazing physician, practitioner, and well, master. He's considered as one of the best phytotherapists in the world, and I was so lucky to use this system, his system. He works, I applied it for the balance method, and I'm the only one in the world who applied his pulse diagnostics to the balance method. Well, it's actually his system designed for the herbs. And those who practice herbs, it's just the sorrow, it's just the present. Because with this pulse, when you feel the pulse, we have a herbal prescription for this pulse. That's it. Okay. So what we have? So we have the patient with this pulse, the reverse hook, which says about adrenals, which says about Shaoyin. What else we need? We already know that the pattern will be you remember symptoms? Hair falling, tired, wants to sleep, a lot of work, tired, no menstruation. No, there is menstruation, but very, how to say the word?
Shaoyin, Shaoyang.
Absolutely, Shaoyin, Shaoyang, of course. Shaoyin, Shaoyang. So let me delete it. Shaoyin. Shaoyang. Okay. And this is summer. So what do? We go to summer. And we see what kind of hexagram are we going to use. One of the best for summer.
36.
36. Yeah, so for the 36 is hard 5, 7, 8. Sinjar 116, gallbladder 34, 40, 43, and kidney 137. Just an example.
Mhm.
Yeah, beautiful. Works absolutely great. Of course, I could use the meridian conversion. No problem with that. I just used the Bagua because, you know, I don't know whether it happened to you, but sometimes I come to, when I treat someone, I have a multi-bed clinic. So I used just 10, 15 minutes for patient, and then I go to another patient, then another patient. So I have just beds, okay, with division separations. So what usually happens with myself, I end up doing the same treatment among 3 or 4 patients. Headache, and the next patient will be with migraine, and the next with migraine. So I come like to the same patterns, same points. Does it happen to you sometimes? When you do gynecology, the second patient will be with gynae problems and another one will be with gynae. So they kind of pack together.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're very bored to do kidney and liver for the same shoulder pain. It's just impossible. But our profession becomes boring. It doesn't work. So you just create the diversity within your treatments. You try Bagua, you try things. Okay, so I try seasonal, it works. So the author, I've forgotten his second name, but I will give you the reference. He just fall in love with seasonal acupuncture, and he does mainly seasonal acupuncture for everything, nearly. So that was his choice. Okay. Yeah. So actually, the principle is the same. And what we have learned today is not the end, it's just the moment. And as soon as we feel comfortable doing these treatments, we have to move. Forward. Any questions about what we have learned so far? Okay. So,
I have a question. In my case, the winter, summer, spring, no is exactly. I am in a Amazonian country, and this is not clear. And what paper I need to use? What bag?
I said that I will ask in the group, because I have an idea, but I don't have an answer that I can prove. I can't prove the answer, so I have to ask. I don't know. Okay, and I will let you know. I will email to you, to all of you, yeah? What to do on the globe.
I can remember from the lessons from Sichuan, from Delphine, that if you live on the southern, on the south of the hemisphere, it is like you in Bolivia and New Zealand, then you live on the south of the earth, then it's opposite. I can remember that, but you have to check it.
This is what I know. This is what I know.
Yeah.
This is what I told you. that it is an opposite, but I have some other thoughts and I'd like to ask in the group because of the experience. I'd like to know the experience because the theory is the theory. And imagine I will say to you, okay, Damien, you have to do the opposite and blah, blah, blah. But because I never treat it, I'd like to know how it works. Okay, because every teacher has a bit of responsibility for saying something. If I say something that I never try and I deliver this information to you, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Okay, I have to verify that. All right. So I had from the group that signed up for the advanced balance method, I had many questions about pulses. I don't know whether any of you asked because like 15 people are missing, or maybe no, even more, 20, 25 are missing here. We have quite a big group, but I mean, they are traveling. It's a good time for travel. So what we have about 20 minutes of time. What if I inspire you, inspire, it's a good word, to do the pulses? It's a lost art. It's completely lost art. And only few people on the in the world, they know how to read pulses. But the worst in the system is it's very difficult to teach. But the system of Jimmy Chung is easy to teach and easy to learn. Of course, you can learn only when you practice. And following this system, you can learn it yourself. My students, many of them, they keep practicing because someone came up with this system. So they did it based on the experience. So we can do the same. If someone could do something, we can do the same. Why not? And the feedback that I receive after a few months, people start saying, oh yes, Katya, I can feel that. Because they try to find the same thing on like 200 patients. And the pulses are the thing that if you feel it once, you will never forget it. Would you allow me to inspire you to feel some pulses that you will enjoy finding again and again, but you will exactly know what it is. And you will say, okay, do you have, I can see, do you have heartburn? How do you know? Yes, I do know, because this is a pulse. I can feel this heartburn. Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful. So do you mind if you have any questions about the seasonal or 5 elements, please ask me. But this pulse stuff, it's very difficult to find. And I spent so much time, not spent, invested my time into looking for the right source. I'm not saying that this is the only source, but this is the right source because you come up with the right diagnosis after taking pulses. And you don't make mistakes.
I'm in.
Sounds great.
Good. So the main rule, I will be very precise and very structured. Okay. There is a, in the book number 2 about global balance, there is a pulse section you can read. Very precise. Everything is clear and applied to balancement. So rule number 1, the hand, the arm is always on its side, like this. So when you take pulse, not like this. This is wrong. You will never read anything if within this system if the arm is like this. Only on a side on the table. Okay, the patient's hand arm. In a free introduction on my website, everything is explained. It's free. Just go there. It's like half an hour. This is rule number 1. Rule number 2, the positions. The pulse on the right hand must be taken by your left hand. The pulse on the right arm of the patient must be taken by your left hand. So cross. Very important. The arm of the patient is relaxed, not like this, just relaxed. And sometimes I shake it a little bit here because we're all tense, like this. They come with the pulses like this. No, you relax them. Good, good, hello. And we start with the right, usually, right hand. Another thing, extremely important, positions. There are 3 positions. Sun is number 1. It's in the gap between the wrist and styloid. You can see. Put your thumb into this gap. It's long 9.
Yeah.
Long 9. This is position number 1. But position number 2 is behind the styloid bone. There is a fork. Can you see the fork? So when you take the pulse, of course, the fingers are like this. Yeah, I just can't move it. So there is a gap between your index finger and the middle finger. Nice gap. And when you just the 3rd finger, the gap between index and the middle must be the same as between middle and the 4th one. You understand? If there is little gap, so this a gap must be less. Okay, so you kind of adjust these 3 fingers between on the Sun, Guan, and Chi. And what is important that look, these are 3 jiaos. The upper jiao is Sun, the middle jiao is Guan, and the lower jiao is the Chi. And when you palpate the pulse, you palpate the human body. It's the same. Whatever you feel on the Sun, you investigate the lungs, the heart, the upper jaw, the throat. You're like a doctor palpating the body, but in a very small, the doll, la muñeca. When you start reading pulses, you start from the skin. The patient's arm is laying down, and you put your index finger on the skin, on the long 9, adjusting your index finger. You read the pulses with 1 finger. You can't read with 3. There is so much information. It's like reading 12 books at the same time. You will be lost. You put 1 finger index on the long 9 on the right hand, on the top of the skin, and start going deeper until you feel something. There are 3 layers. Sure. Basic. Sorry, to mouse. Basic. Just a sec. This is a skin. Oops, sorry. This is a skin. This is a bone. If we do, yeah, that's a thumb. And so on. Sorry. No, this is a thumb because it's a right hand. Okay, let's do the right. So this is sum, guan, and chu. And the pulse, the ideal distribution of the pulse is deeper, deeper, and deeper. When you start feeling pulse on the sun, it must be on the top. The right, nice pulse is on the top. When you go to guan, there will be slightly deeper. And when you come to the chu, it will be close to the bone. And that must be like this. This is a normal pulse. If the pulse is like this is something is wrong with the body. This is a balanced pulse. So when you start with one finger, just one, this is important, one finger, you must see the level of the pulse. And what you do, you just draw this on, up, up, just put right. And you draw this pulse here on the top. If you can't find it on the top, you press it down, press it down, press it down, and you find it on the bottom, you draw it on the bottom. But this position is long, large intestine. And if you see this pulse, you can't find it, and you find it like a muddy. What is muddy? The pulse must be feel as a rod in the pen. Yes, nice, vibrant, just the blood is vivid. And when you feel it muddy, you say, something is wrong with your sinuses. Please practice this. You will enjoy it. If you feel it muddy, but the hand is like this, you kind of find this pulse, but it's kind of dispersed. You can't feel the borders of the artery. It's just something is there. You say, there is something wrong with your sinuses. I say, no, it's fine. Just a little bit of sneezing this morning. So you were right. This is not fine. Or they can say, oh, yes, yes, yes. And the key is to draw the pulse. Dr. Chan, who practices pulses for over 50 or 60 years, he draws the pulses because it's a history of the patient. And we use these drawings between the colleagues as how it's called the Morse, between like marineros, the sea, the people who are in the in the army in the sea, like tom 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 tom, the how they Morse. See, yeah, this is like instead of saying the symptoms, I just draw the pulses of the patient and I email them to my colleagues. So here it is, and they know what's going on. It's so easy. You don't write the whole list of description. So please practice the sinus thing. Sinus thing is muddy pulse on the right soon. Just enjoy practicing it. One thing. How you will feel the heartburn. Look, between Sun and Guan, you will see sometimes you will, the Guan is here. Yeah? You will see the bump here. on styloid bone. In between positions, you feel the pulse, which is jumping, like pum, 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 pum. This is heartburn. And you will say, oh, you possibly have a heartburn. How do you know? Practice this. If you feel it once, you will never forget it. Apologies. Then you come to the stomach. The stomach, the healthy stomach must have this shape. In the middle, between the skin and the bone, vibrant. When you press on this pulse, it rebounces, it gives back. So it doesn't disappear. Sometimes you put your finger, but again, the same index finger, look what you do. First, you find the position. And then you see the position of the middle finger, which is on guan. And then you move your index finger on the next position. You take all the pulses with one finger. Why? Because you compare with one finger what you feel here, what you feel here, and what you feel here. If you feel it with three, you will never read the pulses. It's too much information. You're lost. I'm lost. I do the pulses for many years. I can't do this because they're all different. There's so many things going on. I'm not able to. So one finger, you read the first one, then you go to the second one. You must find it deeper and see the strength of the pulse, whether it's wiry, whether it's strong or not, whether it's jumping. And from what you feel, you come up to the conclusion. Reading the books, read my book, there are examples there. If you don't feel anything and your pulse is just your finger goes down and you feel like something weak, you say, oh, you feel bloated because the stomach has no strength to have a healthy life. It just has no strength. So the bloatedness is the consequence. Okay. There are many other situations, but try to feel the weak stomach pulse when it doesn't have rebounds. It's just your finger will drop into that. And then another thing that exclusively for Jimmy Chung on the this chair, and then there are proximal pulses. And this is so interesting. So one position, second, third, and then this part, which goes next, more proximal from the last position. And you know what is there? This is the neck. And this is so important when you work with a patient with headache and you don't know where the headache comes from. Whether it's like gallbladder or whatever, but if there is a pulse, proximal pulse on the neck, you understand that the headache comes from the neck and shoulders. If there is no pulse, there is no problem, because pulse here should not exist, the healthy one. It should not be there. And there are two types of pulses there. you may find like a string, guitar string, very with urge. So if there is this kind of pulse, kind of thin with urge, the conclusion is that the problem went to the vertebrae. So there are some already problems with the vertebrae, with the bones. If this proximal pulse is mild, but it's there, it means that the problem is on the muscle level. Try to feel these proximal pulses. This is number 3. So one is the sinuses, another is bloated stomach or heartburn, bloated stomach. Proximal pulses is the neck pain. If there is a proximal pulse, is the neck. There are other things that you can read. There are many things, but one of the things is the neck. If you go to the left, one of the beautiful pulses that I shared with you was the mitral valve pulse that you feel on the top of the tendon. Ideally, it should be 0 pulse there, no pulse. You press, there is no pulse, but the hand must be lying down on the table. So you press, there should be no pulse. If there is a pulse, there's a problem with mitral valve, murmurs, regurgitation. There are another heart pulses, but this is the easiest one. You can read other valves. It's so precise. Practice this. This is beautiful. There is a pulse for arthritis. There is a pulse for, well, yeah, very convenient, because if there is a pulse, you can treat arthritis. You know, this is the arthritis. If there is no pulse, no arthritis. Is in the book. But anyway, so this pulse is nice to practice mitral valve. Mitral valve pulse. There is wonderful pulse for endometriosis also to practice, but yeah, just have a fun. Immune, autoimmune. You know how to read autoimmune? Whether this disease is autoimmune or not? Very nicely. Look, this is the guan, left guan. It's a position of liver and gallbladder. The normal feeling of the artery must be like this. So you feel the round. When you feel the pulse, you feel like this. The only pulse that must be wiry, if it's not wiry, there is something wrong with this, is the guan pulse, is the liver pulse. That's why pulses are wiry doesn't make sense, because wiry pulse on guan is a healthy pulse, slightly wiry. If guan is not wiry, then this is a problem in the liver. Must be slightly wiry because it's wind. It must be slightly wiry. This is a healthy state of liver. And when you put your finger, index finger, but different hand, and you don't feel anything, and you put deeper your finger, deeper, you don't feel anything, you put deeper, and you find that it's just so weak and slightly deep, there is no pulse, there is no rebound on the liver, This is autoimmune. So knowing this pulse, you know the level the disease came into the body. So try this. I just share with you some obvious things that you can learn without much work. When you grasp these pulses, you will love it. It will be just like, oh, let me see how the liver is. It becomes like a signature of the patient. And when you have your patient like case studies in your clinic, yeah, you see this picture, you can say everything about the patient, who it was like 3 years ago. You don't need to write it down. There's no need. So you can learn this art. It's not difficult at all. It's a fun. And everyone can learn it, as I did. So this is what I wanted to share with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. My promises are to make some corrections in your handouts, which I will do in the beginning of the week, on Monday. And I will email them to you guys. And I was blessed to give this webinar to you. Well, thank you very much being my guests.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. It's great.
Yes.
If
You
any,
talked about doing the ear course.
Mm-hmm.
How long would that be, and is that something you'd do?
well,
I'm sure we'd be interested.
If those who are interested, express your interest, please, by email. And as soon as I have like about 20 people in the list, I can prepare the webinar, like 1 hour low cost webinar.
Right.
Just the main thing to look in the ear, which will help us to come up with a practical application doing, well, whatever, balance methods, acupuncture or herbs or whatever. If we know the condition of the body, then it's up to us what to apply. Homeopathy, well, doesn't matter. We have to know what's going on. That's the main thing.
I've started this week. It's quite interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah,
take
it'd be
pictures.
nice to know the right map to follow.
Yeah.
I look at the basic things, but ear never lies. The tongue lies. Through the tongue, you can't come up with the right thing because it's too vague. It says about general things. It's not able to be precise. The tongue diagnosis. To me, I look at the tongue, but it gives me like very general picture. What else is very handy is a cancer sign, which we can include the cancer. You can see the cancer on the face very easily. But we can talk about it. I would need some pictures to be prepared to show you. Yeah, it's very handy. There are many handy things that we can put our attention, the things that work 100%. If I see this sign, 95% there is a cancer threat, very, very close. And because you see it, and because it's we still have time to do some prevention therapy, it may work for the patients. Or at least go and scan, at least just say, it would be nice if you go and do some scan, just in case, like a routine, without making them feeling scared. No, it's just a routine. I do it once a year. You have to go and do the, yeah, something like this. When you see this, yeah, it's necessary. So there are certain things that.
Can you tell which part of the body it is in?
Oh, well, if you want, I can, if you wait for a second, I can show you. Let me, would you like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure I have these pictures. I have to prepare them, just if they are. And with these signs, yeah, okay. Just a sec. Screen sharing. Advanced. I just try to. Look, this is stomach, oh, sorry, small intestine 18. The small intestine 18, you can find it drawing the line down from the outer side of the line of the eye down, and the horizontal line from the nostrils. If there is one mark on one small intestine, I think it's 18 or 17, looks like 18. Apologies, I don't have pictures prepared. If one is more red and another one just a little bit, that's a bad sign. It can be. Can you see here?
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see that? So
Yeah.
it's not exactly, but it's here. That's a cancer. You can see the redness. You can see like a spot. It is not a spot. Like I show you in the ear, it's not the freckles. It's something else. So there is something is there, like a spot or inflammation. And it should be, the worst is when it is on the both sides. Yeah, for example, here. Can you see the bump here? The worst is one is more red and another one less red. Not the same. So one must be more pronounced, like an inflammation, than another. Some of my patients with these signs have routine herbal therapy. there are herbs that encapsulate cancer cells and just lead it out of the body. So yeah, another one. You can see it's there. Can you see that?
And this means cancer in the small intestine
No,
or in the
that means
digestive
cancer.
tract? But it is
That means
cancer.
cancer. And interesting, when you treat this cancer with the herbs, this spot disappears. I don't know how to treat it with acupuncture, but I know how to treat cancer with the herbs. So the sign disappears.
What's the treatment principle with the herbs? Like, what do you?
There are prescriptions, certain prescriptions. I think. Yeah, that was my patient. Can you see the sign? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the cancer. And this is, look, she started with a huge vulva cancer, bad vulva cancer, third stage, surgery, grown glands removed, metastasis, lymph nodules in the groin, 61 years old woman. Very bad. And this sign was red spot, bright red spot. She had herbs that's for like 3 weeks, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer herbs. And she came up, look, now it's not red, but it happened like a year ago. It's just stopped its activity. She's alive. She's good. So she had good treatment.
And it's always on this area. It is always on the same area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Small intestine 18. That's a cancer sign.
And it can be anywhere in the body.
Anywhere in the body, but you will see this state whether it's inflamed, whether it's going, whether it's growing. It becomes worse and worse and worse. You can see what's going on. Whether it's coming down, coming down, coming down. Whether it changes. So this is the thing. Or you can see the patient with a sign. One is more pronounced, one is less. It can be the brown spot, little brown spot. But then you can say, any problems? Yes, I have pains and there all the time. So, but I take some, well, I don't know, herbs, like drops. You can say, you know, just go for the routine scan. Routine is a good word. And you may save a life. That's it. Because the earlier you find it, the better is the prognosis.
Only no physician will go for this. If that's the problem. Well, the problem is, I mean, if you send somebody to a specialist or something like that, I mean, you have to have some more indications, because otherwise they will do not anything, really.
Again, you ask and the patient says, yes, I do have some pains. But people are lazy. They don't go for this scan. They don't go for analysis. At least the blood test. They can do it.
Yeah.
Or at least the swab. Go to gynecologist or just routine breast check and well, whatever. And then you start asking how you feel. You have some pains. You have this, and that. And when you come up, because you know that this exists, you become more precise in asking questions. That's it. And if you feel that there is something that you would like to investigate, then you will find the way to send them to doctor. Something like this.
No, I
Does
know
it-
what you mean, but it's not so easy sometimes in the Netherlands to do
Interesting.
things like that.
Well, you can do, for example, I have my sign, and I found out a few years ago that I had a red spot here and brown here. It comes well in advance, well in advance. It shows the predisposition. I
Mhm.
said, okay, I will take the herbs. And interesting, I was taking the herbs, my herbs, and I saw that the redness gone completely and one side disappeared. So it's just funny to investigate. We all die one day. It's we know that. We don't believe in it, but we will. But it's interesting just to research it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I think we had a. I personally, I'm very grateful. I really enjoyed your questions. And yeah, if you want to look into the ear, possibly, and some other things with pulses and maybe something else, write it down or invite your colleagues. We need around 20 people, then I can do the webinar.
Great.
That'd
Okay.
be fantastic. Mhm.
Well, and yeah, have a lovely rest of the week. And tomorrow is a resurrection, is a 0 morning. Don't forget about it. It's Sunday. So we start with empty list, with no history of anything like babies. And I, yeah, I look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you very
That
much.
was great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye,
Good
everyone.
luck, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.